Our MC obviously has said everything that I wanted to say. So there's no need for me to give a long speech actually, but of course I'd like to acknowledge our host. And today's occasion obviously is a direct result of government's assistance during this pandemic period. As you know that earlier on, prior to the $200 million concessional loan program, government had also provided finance through FRCS to micro, small and medium enterprises. And our host today obviously is a recipient of that. And he's contributed his own funds and together with the finance that he's received from government has been able to build up his business from a car wash and of course now to a hairdressing salon. And he's in the process of diversifying further, subject to receiving the appropriate approvals in terms of having a takeaway canteen shop. This is how you can see this is a direct result of the funding provided by government. And as our MC said, this is not only restricted to this particular enterprise, but also obviously hundreds of other enterprises throughout Fiji where people have been able to earn a living and to be able to sustain their livelihoods. I think our Alim Sayed also made a very important point, and that is that we should be able to fend for ourselves. Of course, sometimes people may help us, whether it's a government or whether it's a family. But the whole objective should be to be able to assist yourself. God has given us intellect, God has given us limbs, and we should be able to use that, because if you are able to sustain yourself, and then I think it's a very important message. If you're able to sustain yourself, if you're able to earn a living, then you have a much greater ability to help other people. And if we look at life generally, you'd always find there's somebody who's worse off than you, no matter what happens. Even if you may have one arm, there'll be somebody with no arms. If you have only one leg, there'll be somebody with no legs. There's always somebody who's worse off than you. So there's always an opportunity to help people. There's always an opportunity. Sometimes you may not have an opportunity at one point in your life, but you may have it later on. So the whole idea is to be able to use your physical being, your mental being, and your intellect to be able to then fend for yourself, and this is precisely what is being done. We wish our host all the best in his business. As I said, there's no need to make a long speech, but I wanted everybody to understand that all of this assistance has been provided because there's been actually stability in government policies. In order for this type of assistance never been provided in Fijian history, in the manner and the scale in which it has been provided. And even this time, in this year's budget, we also now have a $200 million facility where micro, small, medium enterprises, large businesses can access funds. It's a concessional loan in the sense that the first 2 years of interest is paid for on your behalf by government. And the principal payment does not need to be made also in the first 2 years. So once you get a loan, you don't make any repayments for 2 years. It's only after the third year you start doing your repayments. But in the meantime, government is paying the interest for you on your behalf. So in this way, literally thousands of businesses have been assisted. But all of this is possible only if you have stability in government, only if you have a foresight, a vision, objective, or some people may say dream. It is the objective and vision of a government that you must always look at and must assess. So I think from your perspective, of course, this year is a very important year where you will again decide the fate of who's going to run you, who's going to be your government. And in that context, you must understand that the policies that are put in place are policies that in fact have been laid out with a vision, and that vision must continue. In the same way, today we are of course now come out of the pandemic in more ways than one. The borders are now open, the tourists have started coming. New Zealand opens up its borders end of this month, where they'll allow their citizens to travel, which means we can now have New Zealand tourists. A lot of people, when they think about the tourism industry, they only think about the hotels. But they don't realize that when a hotel starts operating, there are people who work at the hotel. So when people work at the hotel, when those workers come out of the hotel and they have money in their pocket, they might want their car washed. When they come out of the hotel, when they go to the bus stand, they can buy the mithai from the lady who sells mithai. The lady who sells a boiled ebi. Workers at the airport. When the airlines are running, there's work at the airport. So they come out. Somebody's selling roti parcel to those workers. So the economy gets affected overall. People selling coconuts near McDonald's. A lot of people stop by and buy coconuts. So it churns the economy. From government's perspective, obviously, we are trying to diversify our economy. We, in fact, have been doing that for the past number of years. A lot more diversification has taken place. There are other types of businesses that contribute to the economy. But the opening of the borders, of course, is something that we need to be thankful for. And I'd like to thank everybody here who's actually got themselves vaccinated, themselves and their families, because if we did not have high vaccination rates, we would not have been able to open the borders. We would not have been able to sit like this. It would have been very difficult. So I'd like to thank everybody that's got vaccinated. And of course, there are other more opportunities that do exist. Children are now going back to school. I understand the Western Division from tomorrow. Again, that creates another ecosystem of economic well-being. So please keep all of these things in mind. One message I'd like to give to our host: a lot of people in Fiji, when they have a business, they don't look at long term, they look at the short term. Three most important things. Firstly, when people start up a new business, a new building, new shop, nice and clean, after 6 months the cleanliness goes away. After 1 year, when the plaster starts wearing off, the maintenance is not done. The tiling starts coming off, the tiling is not done. So you must, as a business, if in particular you have an asset, must always set aside some money for your maintenance of your building and to keep cleanliness. Very important. Secondly, the quality of what you do should always be maintained. The first week you open your car wash, you may do a very good job. The customers start coming in, maybe the quality of your job will deteriorate because you've got too many cars coming in. You must always ensure the quality is always maintained. It's the same way you go to a restaurant, the food, when they open up the restaurant, the food is good. 2 महीना बाद जाओ, छोटा serve हो जाए. Small serve. Quality may not be that good. Maybe they reuse the oil and cook it. So people get greedy. It's a fundamental premise of the faith not to get greedy. The third thing is, from purely business perspective, a lot of businesses in Fiji, they like to make what I call a kill on one sale. I'll give you an example. Somebody hires a taxi, maybe the fare is, if you put the meter, is $10. When a tourist comes, the $80 charge just below. Charge the tourist $80. So the tourist will look overall and say, I should be paying $10. In Bali, when I go the same distance, I pay $5. This guy is charging me $80. Maybe Fiji is not a good destination to go to. So people should not get greedy. Because if you charge the right price, you'll get return customers. Because we are in Nadi, I'll tell you a story. A few years ago, I went into a shop. There's a bowler shirt hanging. Price mark was $65. I asked him how much is the shirt. He said $20 for you. As I was standing there, another person walked in, fellow Fijian like me, walked in. He said, how much is the shirt? He said, $25. So I said to the shopkeeper, I said, I know $20 you're selling it maybe at cost, or maybe you are still making a margin. You can sell it to the local person for $25, why do you have $65? He said, that's a tourist price. Tourist price. When we used to go overseas before, in those days chocolate in Fiji was expensive, now chocolate is cheap. So when you go to a destination where chocolate is cheap, you'll buy it for your family, your neighbors, your mama, mommy, everybody will buy the chocolate for because it's cheap. The same way in Fiji, if that shirt he can sell for $25, why isn't he selling the shirt for $25 to everybody? So when the tourist comes in, he'll be able to say, I'll buy 5 pieces instead of buying one. Same thing applies to a car wash. Same thing applies to any business. Some hardware companies, a doorknob may be $120, but they lend it for $10. They'll lend it for $20. You all complain about it. But the same principle applies to everybody. There's 3 fundamental aspects of business. The maintenance of your assets, cleanliness, consistency in the delivery of your product or your service, and getting the right price. So with those words, I'd like to thank you for the invitation. I saw the email, and his email was so passionate, I said I have to go to his opening. So by the grace of God, I was already here for some other meeting, so it fitted in quite well. So I wish you and your family all the best. Please stick to the main principles and always be honest in your business dealings. And when it's time for you to pay your taxes, make sure you pay your taxes. Thank you.